Ron's got crazy skills. He can drive the boat and shave.
So we've taken a couple of days off the boat to spend time with my aunt and uncle, and they brought us up here to Sleeping Bear Lakeside National Forest. Anyway, what a beautiful spot. All right, so Carrie and I are visiting the dunes. This is where they drop down into Lake Michigan.
Oh my gosh,
and
it's the coolest.
They warn you, like, if you go down, you have to make it back up. It's a $3,000 fee for them to come and rescue you. So that's actually where it is out there. It's down there. And I don't know if this video will translate to how steep this is.
What, not running down there?
No, those guys.
Yeah, they're
coming
like, I
back
regret everything.
I'm at 46 out of 100.
That was a good little hike. How beautiful, though. We're here at the Sleeping Bear Dune Climb, and I just wanted to show you guys what an elite level athlete such as myself, how fast I can do this. A lot of people just walking up here. Ready? Here I go.
Get another mouthful, feed the other bird. It was really cute. And then we have the pileated. Or however they pronounce everybody. No. Let the onions cool.
Sometimes you can wake up at the Frankfurt Marina on a Saturday morning and have a car show right next to the bathrooms. Pretty awesome. Now we're visiting a chicken intentional community. Oh, wow. Look at that boat.
So I think we're getting chicken.
We're here at the Gwen Frosty Gallery. They have this super cool building. It's like a living roof. Oh, very cool. Okay, it's early morning. We're setting off from Frankfurt after saying goodbye to family. And you know, sometimes that's the hardest part, is saying goodbye. And it's just a challenge to not just say, oh, this whole trip thing is stupid. Let's just stay here with family where it's nice and comfortable and we're welcomed and loved and adored and, you know, given nice things. So a little bit sad this morning, but we'll put some Great Lake smiles on it and see if that puts a smile on our face. How about that? How's Miss Carrie feeling?
Not very good today.
No, see.
I can't even eat my oatmeal.
Yeah, it's It's pretty rough out there. We're getting some following waves, which feels like swell. It's rocking and rolling down the Michigan coast.
Okay, all stations, all stations, all stations. This is United States Coast Guard, Sector Lake, Michigan. Coast Guard, Sector Lake, Michigan. Coast Guard, Sector Lake, Michigan. Small craft advisory remains in effect until 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time this evening. From Whitehall, command us with north wind.
We're sailing along wing on wing, but there's a small craft advisory out, and yeah. So I originally had us wing on wing, but the wind shifted around, and so I had to swing the main over. So now we're on a broad reach, but I still have the jib pole on the jib, but I just can't get myself to go out there and take it off. I'm sure I could be squeezing more out of her, but I don't want to puke up on the deck, so we'll just excellent time. We're routinely hitting 10 knots as we come down these, surf down the waves that are all following us, so good times. Need to give a big shout out to our Raymarine autopilot. You can see that it, as the waves roll us up and down, it's working very hard to keep us on track, and it's allowing us to just essentially do nothing and still stay on course, which is much appreciated. I like just closing my eyes and napping. I mean, look at this. We got it out for like 4.5 knots. Then as we ride this wave, we go 10 knots. Then we trough back down, go down to 4.2. Yeah. Yeah. This is really the closest I've ever come to surfing. Waves are crazy, and they're taller than the boat is. It's crazy to look out, and all you can see is a wave coming up. It was a little scary there for a second, and in fact I closed the door because I was afraid I was going to poop in the boat, which I know is probably making you laugh. If you're not really a sailor, might not be familiar with what that means. Poop the boat is when the waves come up from the back and actually fill the cockpit. So I just wanted to make sure that if we had a wave that actually came up over and broke into the boat, that it didn't flood down into the rest of the boat, that it just went in here in the cockpit, which is really not that big a deal because it's self-draining. Yeah, so yeah, I pulled in a good section of the jib, and I'm slightly less puckered than I was 10 minutes ago. Well, and you might wonder, how good does autopilot work? But considering the fact that the wheel is continually turning, I haven't touched the autopilot in a couple of hours, and I mean, really, since get off of there. Since I touched it, it is absolutely straight as an arrow. The boat has been swinging back and forth with every wave. The autopilot's brought us back to correct it. That's amazing. Not only has the autopilot made it convenient for us and kept us in a straight line, but in doing that, it also keeps the sails at the appropriate angle. So, you know, I get distracted and I was hand sailing and I accidentally get off, especially with the waves as big as they are and the sail getting sideways. You know, you have the real potential for a knockdown, which in a catamaran is catastrophic. So I don't think I can really overstate how awesome in big water an autopilot is. I really just don't know how you do it without it. I mean, I'm sure it can be done, but it is just unbelievably nice. So yesterday was intense, and luckily this morning not quite as adventurous, but making some repairs. But I had on the main, I actually snapped a couple of my slides, so I've had to replace those, put new ones in, and I'll get that redone. But now I've had a little time to reflect on yesterday. So this boat has, although there are catamarans that don't, but this one has a displacement hole, which means that it cannot get up on plane. And so that gives you usually kind of a maximum speed, which is your displacement speed. So unless the water is flowing with you, generally, you can't go over your displacement speed, because there's so much water that has to get out of the way of the hole that's under the water. But you can't go faster than that, and there's no mechanism to bring you up on plane. So really, the Jim and I shouldn't be able to go 14.7 sailing or motoring. Even if you put a 1,000 horse motor on, theoretically you wouldn't be able to go faster than the displacement speed, which I don't know exactly what it is for this boat, but I don't think it's 14.7. So the conclusion that I have come up with, though, is that while this boat cannot sail or motor at 14.7, in a large enough wave, it can fall at 14.7 knots. Because that's essentially, when you're surfing, you're on top of the wave and you're falling down. So the boat can fall 14.7 knots, but not really sail. So good times. Oh, Carrie, look at these corn dogs.
Honey, how did you know?
I know, we're supposed to meet people for lunch in an hour, but I passed by a place and I have rules in this life. Do you want one, or do you want me to eat both of them?
I think they're all yours.
Oh, it's so good.